All right, boys and girls, today's lesson is lesson 8-1, and if I'm correct here, which is kind of exciting, is that Unit 8 is your very last unit in the 4th grade. So that's pretty exciting. We're almost there. So this unit, we're going to start talking about geometry. And I know in 3rd grade you worked a little bit on it. So today we're going to kind of refresh your memory of what you were taught last year, and then kind of further your knowledge of geometry to get you ready for 5th grade. So, Chapter 8, Lesson 1 is about points, rays, and angles. So, not a whole lot of note taking to do here because we're going to be working through quite a bit of pages. So, the first thing I want you to do is open up your book to page 273. Excuse me. All right. So on 273, it talks about points, lines, and line segments. This is probably the most important page in this lesson because you need to understand what a point, a line segment are. So a point is shown by a dot. It is named by a capital letter. Okay, so every dot you see is considered a point. A line is a straight path that goes on forever in both directions. Remember, both directions. That should be really that should be highlighted. It's not, but the word both because it has to go in both directions. You'll learn later in, I'm not quite sure if it's today's lesson or tomorrow's, but you will learn more about what if it doesn't go in both directions all the way, go on forever in both directions. It's called a ray, and we'll talk about that later. So when you draw a line, you put arrows on the ends to show that it goes on and on. So lines can be named by any 2 points on the line. So here are lines AB, lines GK, or line GK, and line PN. Okay? Here's line AB because the line goes on forever through these 2 dots. Or, sorry, these 2 points. So this is called line AB. And that's how you would write it that's how it would be written. Line AB, on top of it you'll have a line, a little tiny one with AB underneath it. Here, same thing. Line, that's a terrible angle or terrible point, line GK, and the next one is line PN. And you could also write these and write them backwards or write them the other way. So this could be also line BA, this could also be line KG, and this could also be line NP. So that's how you would write the line symbol. Okay, so if you made a line or you said, hey, name this line, that's how you would name it. Just like I did on the right there. Next thing, a line segment is part of a line. It has 2 ends, which are called endpoints. Okay? Endpoints are pretty much points with no arrows or lines going through them. Okay? So these endpoints are R and S here, and W and T, and D and J. Okay, how you name line segments are different than how you name lines. So this first one is line RS. All you do is a line on top. Okay, this one is line WT. This one is line DJ, I think. I wrote over it. Maybe, hopefully that's a J. So, so line DJ. That's how you write it. You wouldn't write the little arrows on each side because that would mean a line. That would mean that it's a line. I'm sorry, I kept calling these lines. So these are line segment RS, line segment WT, and line segment DJ. Okay, if there were a line, they'd have arrows on each end. Understand that because a line segment is what it is. This right here, it doesn't get any bigger, doesn't get any smaller. If you measure it, that is what you can measure. Here, on a line, you really can't measure a line. You can measure the line segment, which would be the part from the K to the G to the K, but you can't measure the length of a line because the line goes on forever and ever. Okay, knowing a line, a point, and a line segment, and also earned endpoints, it says, number 1, you can measure to find the length of a line segment, but you cannot measure to find the length of a line. Explain why. I just did that for you. Didn't realize this was the question, but I just kind of did it for you. A line segment is what it is. It is right there. That's how long it is. Okay? A line with the arrows, it goes on forever. So you have no idea. You could just say it's really long, or you could just say it goes on forever, but you can't ever get an accurate measurement. All right, let's get this page out of here. I like to fly through these pages. All right, so if you're drawing points, rays, and angles, an angle is formed by two rays. Okay, well, we really didn't talk about rays, but let's talk about rays right now. Not sure if I missed a page in there or why it just jumped right to rays, and no, I didn't. But anyways, I'll briefly tell you about rays. You learned that a line, okay, has 2 points, okay, AB. A line segment, AB. And then if you did a ray AB, it would start on the end point, and then it would go on forever. Okay, so this is ray AB. This is line segment AB, and this is line AB. Okay, so a ray has an endpoint, and it goes on forever. So almost a mixture of a line segment and a line. So an angle is formed by two rays. Notice here, notice how the pencils are put together. But if you look closely, you'll see that they each have an endpoint. Okay, the endpoint is B, so that's where the ray would start. And it goes on forever this way, and goes on forever that way. So this is two rays. There's one ray, it's ray BA, and another ray, ray BC. And with rays it's different. You actually, when you write the symbol for a ray, it looks like that. But you always have B, C, or ray BA. What you always do is you always write the letter that the ray starts on first. Remember how I told you on the other ones you could have it flip-flop. It didn't matter. In this case it does, because when you have a ray that starts at an endpoint and goes on forever, you need to tell us where it starts. So when you draw your symbol for it, you always make sure the endpoint is first. So in this case it's B, so it'll go BA, and then the other one's BC. So there's two rays here, ray BA and ray BC. Make sure you write where the ray starts first. All right, so the angle here would be angle ABC. Okay, angle ABC. And you can also write it, if you want, angle CBA. Because it goes on and on forever on each side, you can write it either way. Okay, so it says number 2, draw and label a point. Write the name of your point. This is what I want you to do. I'm going to have you fill this out when the lesson's over. Okay, oh, I forgot to talk about a vertex. A vertex is where B is. Okay, a vertex is where they meet. Okay, it's where the two lines or two rays meet. So that's the vertex. Okay, if I did that, this is the vertex. If I did that, that's the vertex. Okay, it's basically where it starts to bend. Okay, it's where the two rays have met. All right, so you're gonna have to do something for 2, 3, and 4, but don't do it now. Let's go to the next page. I want you to get to that at the end, or maybe we'll work on that in a small group. This says angles can be many different sizes. Next it says discuss the groups of angles. Okay, acute angles. Acute angles are any angles that are less than 90 degrees. Okay, this is an acute angle. This is a 90-degree angle. So when you start to close it and make it smaller, if this starts to get closer to the other corner, then it becomes an acute angle. If you take a 90-degree angle and you open it up to make it wider, you have an obtuse angle. Okay? So here it says, discuss the groups of angles. Here are all of the acute angles. These are all acute angles because they're less than 90 degrees. And how is an acute angle different from a right angle? A right angle is a 90-degree angle. So it's different because it's less than 90 degrees. A right angle is only one way. It only looks the same way every time. It's a 90-degree angle where you could put a box in a corner. And then obtuse angles are all more than 90 degrees. And how is an obtuse different from right angle? An obtuse is different from right angle because it is more than 90 degrees. And how is an obtuse angle different from an acute angle? It opens up wider and goes more than 90 degrees, as an acute angle closes shorter, or closes almost, and it is less than 90 degrees. So I kind of did those for you I know we're moving quickly because you're going to have to cut some stuff out at the end. Classify angles. It says use the letters to name each angle. Then write acute, bright, or obtuse to describe each angle. This is what we're going to do. I want you to not even bother with this page just yet. I want you to hold off, and you're going to go to the next page. And this you have to cut everything out. It says cut along the dashed line. So you're going to cut along these lines. You're going to make little cards, and we'll have baggies for you. And then when we come to small group, I want to work on the page before it. Okay? So I want to work on page 276, maybe? Or no, 275. So we'll go over the workbook pages when you come to small group. But I really want you, at this point now, don't worry about the questions in those pages because we'll work on them in small group. I want you to cut out the little cards here on this page.